now at noon. A police chase leads to a manhunt in the woods in southwest Missouri.
We've got beautiful skies out there, still a bit on the cold side, but it will continue to warm.
And archaeologists discovered dozens of ceramic jars that spill secrets about how Egyptians mummified their dead.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
A car chase leads to a manhunt in Newton County. This is KOAM News at Noon. I'm Tanya Bach. Topping our first 7 minutes, law enforcement from 3 agencies worked together to capture a wanted felon in Seneca, Missouri. It started in Newton County when a driver with an outstanding felony warrant was fleeing from authorities. Now, Newton County Sheriff's deputies and the Missouri Highway Patrol chased the suspect into Seneca, where Seneca police were waiting with tire deflation devices near the Seneca Sports Complex on Bethel Road. Authorities say the suspect then fled on foot into a wooded area. The 3 agencies apprehended the suspect around 5 p.m. and police have not yet released that suspect's name. The FBI investigates an officer-involved shooting at the Riverbend Casino in Wyandotte, Oklahoma. It happened Thursday morning in the casino parking lot. Authorities say the suspect brandished a weapon on a Wyandotte Nation police officer. That officer then fired at the armed individual. We're told the officer was not hurt, but there's no word on the suspect's condition. The FBI is leading the investigation as the shooting happened on Indian Trust land. Well, it's been a bitter cold morning, but that's about to change. Chris Warner joins us with a first look at our warmer forecast.
That's absolutely right, Tanya. It is still a bit on the cold side out there, but we have plentiful sunshine, we have clear skies, and temperatures will continue to slowly warm as we go through the day. Taking a look at the MoDOT camera from 32nd and Range Line, clear roads, hardly any wintry precipitation left out there, and absolutely clear, picturesque skies above. Here's the nice thing about yesterday. Check this out. 46 the official high. Only a degree shy of our average. And while we started at 21, that's only 5 degrees off our normal low. We're getting a little closer to what we should be for this time of year. So here's what we're tracking heading into next week. Cool today, still more sunshine though. We're going to continue to warm through the weekend, but we will be cloudy, we will be breezy, and then we're watching rain chances, our first round of rain chances as we head into Monday night into Tuesday as well. Across the area, as mentioned, it's still cold, but we're improving. We had 31 Iola, 29 Pittsburgh, Fort Scott, 32 Miami, 33 Neosho, 31 in Carthage, and we are sitting at 32 in Joplin. So as we mentioned, clear skies across the area. Does feel a little bit chillier with that light east-southeast breeze. Feels like 26, and we'll continue to trend upwards. Believe it or not, we're still looking to make it right into the lower 40s, and we'll hold on to clear skies, but they won't last forever. So again, looking at a high right about 41. We'll have those clear skies, and I can already tell you tonight's low because that's going to hit at 8 o'clock. It's going to be about 31 degrees. So why is the low so early? You'll have to stay tuned to find out what's coming after this here in just a few minutes. Tanya?
All right, sounds like good news to me. Well, bitter cold and dangerous weather is causing temperatures to plunge across much of the country. It's expected to feel like it's below zero for more than 80 million people from Montana to New England. Now, some areas could have feels like temperatures of 50 degrees below zero. Plus, there's snow in the north and ice in the south, downing trees and knocking out power. Lilia Luciano reports from St. Paul, Minnesota.
For all of us, this will be an inconvenience. If you're staying outside, this is life or death.
In Boston, homeless shelters are full, but no one will be turned away. The polar plunge has begun. The city's expected to see temperatures free fall well below freezing by noon. Some schools made the tough choice to close Friday.
In the dangerous cold, we could get frostbite.
While in western New York, an overnight blast of Arctic air unleashed wind gusts of more than 40 miles an hour and whiteout conditions. The bone-chilling temperatures in the Northeast come as the South begins to feel some relief for the first time in days after temperatures finally rose above freezing. At least 11 people across Texas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas were killed during the storms, most in car wrecks due to ice-covered roads. And hundreds of thousands of customers across the region are still without power.
We started a fireplace, put some pots on the gas-burning stove, and that's about all we have.
Lilia Luciano, CBS News, Minneapolis.
The South is not out of the woods yet. They could still see some freezing temperatures this weekend. Now, speaking of freezing temps, the National Weather Service warns it could take less than 10 minutes for frostbite to set in. So stay inside if you can over the next couple of days, unless you live here in the 4 states. Well, the U.S. is tracking a suspected Chinese surveillance balloon that has been spotted over U.S. airspace for a couple of days. The Pentagon decided not to shoot it down over concerns of hurting people on the ground. Now, a senior defense official told Pentagon reporters the U.S. has very high confidence it is a Chinese high-altitude balloon, and it was flying over sensitive sites to collect information. Now, Montana was one of the places it was spotted, which is home to one of the nation's nuclear missile silo fields. Well, thousands of years of ancient mysteries are buried in the sands of Egypt. But as Ian Lee reports, scientists have dug up one that reveals how mummies were made nearly 3,000 years ago.
Egypt's famous burial grounds of Saqqara hold many secrets.
Saqqara is a very important place. It reveals many important treasures.
But when archaeologists cracked open an ancient chamber, they discovered a different type of treasure. Knowledge, more specifically, how to make a mummy.
So we are in front of a gold mine of information that has to deal with the chemical compositions of these oils.
They found dozens of ceramic pots still labeled with ingredients for embalming the dead. By analyzing chemical traces inside the jars, researchers uncovered a mummy recipe that helped preserve bodies for thousands of years. Some containers were inscribed with instructions like to put on his head, giving a glimpse into the ceremony of transforming a body into the sacred and divine.
People would be chanting spells and hymns while you were being wrapped, and the resin was being anointed all over your body.
Burial masks and measuring cups were also unearthed. Surprisingly, some of the oils, animal fats, and resins weren't locally sourced, even way back then.
It's also quite fascinating that we were able to find very exotic substances, products coming from the rainforest, most likely from Asia.
But a big mystery remains. How did Egyptians even realize they were onto something?
The question is, how did the Egyptians know that this was a worthwhile investment?
Maybe the answer to that is also buried in the sand. Ian Lee, CBS News.
Well, ancient Egyptians believed if bodies were kept intact through mummification, they would reach the afterlife. That's a look at today's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Up next on KOAM News at noon, Beyonce and Adele battle it out at the Grammys this Sunday night. And later, we're making carrot cake whoopie pies in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. The biggest names in music are gearing up for the 65th Grammy Awards, and this year artists like Beyonce could make history. Nichelle Medina has a preview of this year's awards show and talks with one of the nominees.
It's music's biggest night, and this year it's a battle of two vocal powerhouses. Beyoncé and Adele will go head-to-head in several top Grammy categories like Album of the Year.
A lot of people really want Beyoncé to finally get her flowers from the Grammys in a top category, which she hasn't done.
Beyoncé adds 9 nominations to her Grammy resume and could make history.
If she wins 4, she'll break the record for most Grammy wins ever.
Other leading artists up for awards include Kendrick Lamar, Brandi Carlile, and Harry Styles. It could also be a big night for country music. Stars like Maren Morris will face veterans like Willie Nelson and Dolly Parton.
The country contingent of the Grammys really likes to favor the old guard in a lot of ways.
This year, the show is back in Los Angeles with Trevor Noah hosting once again. And for the nominees, the excitement to take home Grammy Gold is building.
This one is for Early Americans with Jane Ira Bloom.
Husband and wife duo Jim Anderson and Ulrike Schwartz have received more than 30 nominations for their recordings. Working with music's biggest names, they're nominated for Best Immersive Audio Album.
This is actually a moment when people celebrate themselves, and it's very good to do so.
Win or lose, this year's show promises viewers memorable moments and a lot of great music. Nichelle Medina, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Well, some of the artists taking the stage this year to perform include Bad Bunny, Mary J. Blige, Lizzo, and Sam Smith. I was just introduced to Bad Bunny last week. The 65th Grammys air this Sunday on KOAM. Well, still to come on the KOAM News at noon.
Our taste buds are headed to Amish country, so grab yourself a big glass of milk and join us.
And milk is a bad choice for a hot day, but on days like this, it's not too bad. We're going to continue to warm up. We'll tell you how warm it's going to get when we come back. Well, we are, again, a little bit cold right now, but don't worry. It's going to continue to get warmer. I don't want anybody out there to think I've been lying to you because you're probably going outside, but it's not even 30 degrees yet. This isn't warm. Well, it's about to be. Let's take a look outside, shall we? 7th and Rangeline. It looks warm. I know it's not yet, but it certainly looks that way. Beautiful blue sky, plentiful sunshine out there, and same view from our camera, or from the MoDOT camera rather, at 32nd and Rangeline. Clear skies, clear roads, looking wonderful out there. Unfortunately, it is still a bit on the chilly side. We're at 32 right now in Joplin. Feels like 26 with a light east-southeast breeze at about 6 miles an hour. Now, as it tends to be, the further south you go, the warmer it is. So we've got temperatures ranging from, looks like 28 in the low end in Nevada, all the way up to 36 in Grove and Jay. But you could also see where the wind arrows are starting to make some shifts, and they will continue to do so. We have 32 Chanute, 31 Parsons Chatopa, 32 Miami, 33 in Neosho, and we're sitting at 30 in Lamar here at the noon hour. Going through the rest of the day, we're still projected to make a high in the upper 30s to near 41 for most of us. Plentiful sunshine, clear skies. It will remain clear as we head into this evening, the early evening, and that's why we're going to hit a low of 31 at about 8 o'clock, because remember what happened last night. No cloud cover, so the heat escaped pretty quickly. We got pretty darn cold last night. That's going to start to happen. Then the winds are going to shift and a warmer breeze is going to start to blow. And then the clouds will begin to increase overnight as well. And as they do so, our temperatures very slowly start to creep back up to about 34 by 6 o'clock in the morning. So what exactly is about to transpire across the area? Is spring suddenly springing? No, it's not, unfortunately. But we're going to get a nice taste of it over the next several days. We are cloudy as we head through the weekend, but we start to warm up. Then we get into Monday, and we're doing all right. Temperatures are looking great Monday. Then later Monday evening into early Tuesday morning, could see some showers, maybe a rumble of thunder as the little system rolls through. Then it goes away. And then we have another opportunity, a better chance of some rain as we head into Thursday and then again into Friday. And then Friday night into Saturday is another chance of something that we'll talk about. So make sure you take time to scan that QR code or go to your favorite app store and search for the KOAM Skywatch weather app. That way, for any reason you're out this weekend, you're not near the TV, something comes up, you can keep up to date on the latest forecast. So let's break down the latest forecast as it stands right now. Up to 48 tomorrow, 57 Sunday, breezy both these days, breezy in the Monday, evening shower chances, but check out that high temperature of 62. 53 Tuesday. Evening shower chances. Wednesday, rain chances start to pick up. Going into Thursday, we get a little cooler, but it's all right. Still above normal as we're in the upper 40s. I want to quickly show you before I ruin the rest of your Friday. Look at these overnight lows. So instead of starting the day at like 19 degrees, we could start the day at 45 degrees. I think that's a win. Unfortunately, we're still in February. We're still in winter. And we are watching toward the end of next week and into the next weekend a system that could bring us a little bit of wintry weather Friday night into Saturday. However, mind those temperatures. They're still kind of warm. So we're going to keep a close eye on this system. We're not talking a blizzard or anything like that at this point, but we'll watch it. But we will also, unfortunately, return to winter across the 4 states as we head into the end of next week. So between now and, say, Tuesday, enjoy the warmer weather. It's a nice break. It's a great opportunity to get outside, get some fresh air before we, get back to that cold stuff again.
Yeah, that's for sure. Well,
but also remember, we're in February and we're getting that much closer to spring.
There you go. Spring is on its way.
It is on
I
its way.
don't care what you said, Phil. We're ready.
Yeah, Punxsutawney Phil, you're not welcome down here in
Just
these parts.
enjoy the weekend.
Yeah,
that's for
absolutely enjoy this weekend.
Sure. All right. Thanks, Chris. Well, we take this time to honor today's four-state hero, Chief Petty Officer Keith Miller in the U.S. Navy. The Seneca, Missouri native served aboard the U.S. Regal at Pearl Harbor. He was later stationed in Argentina, Newfoundland, and at the Naval Air Station in Hutchinson, Kansas. To Chief Petty Officer Keith Miller, we thank you, our four-state hero. Love the taste of carrot cake and the creamy, fluffy texture of a whoopie pie? Well, how about the best of both? Today, Howard shows us how to make his carrot cake whoopie pies in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
You know, I've loved whoopie pies ever since I was a little kid. It all started when my family visited Amish country in Pennsylvania. We stopped at this little roadside stand where I got my very first whoopie pie, and it was heavenly. I still remember squishing out the filling of the 2 cake-like cookies and getting it all over my face. From that moment on, I was hooked. So if you're ready, let me show you a new twist on these. The first thing we want to do is combine a box of carrot cake mixed with some water, oil, and a few eggs, then give it a good mix. We drop spoonfuls of this on a couple of baking sheets and bake them off just like you would a cookie. Then while these cool on a wire rack, we'll whip up a filling, which is simply some softened cream cheese with butter mixed with vanilla and powdered sugar. Once it's fluffy, we smear the flat side of half of the cookies before topping with the remaining cookies. The key to a good whoopie pie is that you can't be skimpy when it comes to the filling. Whether you eat these one bite at a time or you squish the filling out and lick it, you can't go wrong. To get the recipe for our carrot cake whoopie pies, all you have to do is visit our website. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen with Kelly, who's loving whoopie pies as much as I do. And today we found an Amish-inspired way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
All right, here's a look at our four-state market prices.
We'll be a little bit warmer today, 41, and better through the weekend. 48 Saturday, 57 Sunday. And we're watching some shower chances Monday through Thursday, 62 by Monday and down to 49 by Thursday.
What do we have coming up tonight at 5?
Well, at 5, it's National Wear Red Day, when the American Heart Association encourages wearing of red to raise awareness about cardiovascular disease in women. Tonight in Health Watch, why learning about heart issues is so important. Plus, recreational marijuana is now on sale at some Missouri dispensaries, and Joplin Elementary students get a lesson about keeping their smile healthy as Children's Dental Health Month begins. So if you join us for those stories, a whole lot more, of course. KOAM News at 5.
All right, thank you, Dow. Thanks for joining us for KOAM News at noon. We'll see you right back here at 5 o'clock.